Hello. Hey guys, it's Andrew from the NerdSpice podcast. Welcome to that spicy little intro.
You're the
Mm-mm-mm.
best at intros.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, as you can tell, I've been doing this for quite a long time. No, but today we are two men down, aren't we, boys?
Yeah, we're
Um,
picking up the reins.
yeah, we're missing Leon and good old Joshy. So just today it's just Mitchell
Yes, hey, hey.
and our boy Tolga.
Hello.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the
Hello,
weak
young
links.
fellas. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
so look,
shots fired.
today it's going to be a bit of a chill day. We're going to try and keep it as low format as possible. We're not going to talk about any new game announcements that have happened through the Summer Games Fest yet. I think we're going to save that for another episode once everything's been announced and shown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, we do know about Crash Bandicoot 4, guys.
Hell
We
yeah.
do know about it.
It's about
But we're
time.
gonna-
Am I right?
It's
I
funny
think
because of the
Funny because
words.
it's a play on words.
Yeah. Wow.
But no, obviously we might talk. We will bring up Star Wars Squadrons and the EA Live play because I think that's a good conversation to have, just about a company sucking its own penis.
Well, look, you would if you could, you know? Just take out a few ribs and go for it.
I would.
Hold on, I
You're
zoned out for about 20 seconds and I just heard penis.
Well,
It's a
what
common
happened?
it's a common theme, yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
Tolga, look.
EA,
you'll-
penis.
When we
Bang.
get into the actual conversation, you'll understand what I meant again. But no, like, look, let's talk about some games we've been playing. I'm not going to start us off, and neither is Tolga. Actually, Mitchell, I want to hear what you.
Oh, you're going to start off with me
playing.
today, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, this one became free on the Epic Store, which is why I got it. And I've been playing with the squad on Ark Survival Evolved, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
God.
Dude, it is actually really fun once you get into it. I've been addicted. I think yesterday I played like 7 hours straight. It was nuts.
God. Did you stream it?
Nah, I stream a little bit, but people aren't generally interested in it because it's such slow gameplay. And me and my friends are kind of learning it all because there's a lot. It's a very, very detailed game.
It's got a lot of mechanics.
See,
Yeah.
the only thing I remember from it is that you can poop and you can eat your poop.
Yeah, you'll just be walking and it'll just come up on the top of the screen. You have defecated. It's like, cool, awesome.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Glad-
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this game.
There are drawbacks. It has, it's not so friendly to new people. We had trouble getting into it at first. One, because of servers. Because you have to pick a server to get into. Obviously, it has limited slots that you can go into. There's not a lot of Oceania servers, obviously, for us in Australia. That's where we'd want to go. So we ended up, I think, first of all, we were in like a NA server. And obviously that was a bit laggy, but it wasn't too bad. But all the ones that had slots in it were so old. So if you're new coming into the game and you try to find an area to just build your house, you can't.
It's just built up to the
And
shit.
you just get
Yeah.
griefed as well.
Well, you can go in PvE servers. So
Yes,
that means
true,
they can't
true.
damage you, which is what we're playing. We're playing PvE and enjoying it all. But yeah, the first server, we literally could not build anywhere because everyone had built their foundations around and it was really difficult. But we eventually found a server on EU, which the ping was even worse. But we make do, you know. We put up with the ping. We've set up our base. We've got a whole bunch of dinos. I'm the hunter of the group. I've hunted down 2 Rexes by myself and got them tamed. So we now got some carnivores. And then I went and died to some jellyfish. So, you know, a bit of hot and cold with me. But it's such a fun game to kind of immerse yourself into and build up your base and find dinosaurs. And I'm actually going to be looking into like DLC content because I think there's some cool dinos once we level up and kind of get our heads around everything that's happening in the game. Because as I said, it's just so detailed. So
Is it one of the online games where like it's got like a semi story? Like
there's
'cause I
probably
think
there's
'cause I think,
probably
like-
lore, but
Oh yeah,
they're not so much story. You kind of just get chucked into this world, and you're like, alrighty then, how the fuck do I survive? Oh, there's a dino.
No, because
Cool.
I've been watching what's his face, Markiplier play Raph lately with like his old mates from when he was a kid,
Hmm.
and that never used to be online. That used to just be like build a house whilst you're in the ocean,
Yeah.
and now it's got like essentially collect your document stuff, but then like
Yeah, there is. There's like the law stuff documents. I've run across a few of them. There's heaps of them. They just tell stories of like different creatures and mythical stuff and all that. It's cool. It's cool. It's not main part of the game, obviously. But
No, the main part is to run around on a dinosaur and be like, fuck yeah.
hell yeah. Exactly. But yeah, there's definitely lore, and people would obviously take interest in that as well. But I just think it's a really, really nice game and a really chill game, you know? It can be heartbreaking because things can go wrong quickly, but it's just a nice chill game you can play with your mates or even by yourself, you know?
I think like my main problem with Ark specifically isn't the game itself, it's actually the developers.
Right. Tell me why. Who are they? I can't even remember.
I don't remember the name of the company. I'll look them up.
Just come a little closer to you, Mike. Andrew?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
But anyway, I think it's called Studio Wildcard. Yeah. Now, Studio Wildcard is they're shady fuckers, man. They're fucking shady.
But who isn't these days? Let's be real.
Yeah, but I can understand when like a AAA company, you know, they are this business that they're no longer human type of thing, you know, they're this giant corporation. The developers of Ark, they're an indie company. They're an indie developer, you know. They released their game on early access because it wasn't finished, so they're asking people to put money into it before it's a finished product, yeah? During the early access, whilst this game was still in early access, and there'd been like a kind of a pause in updates, from my recollection, they released a DLC for the game.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, when you take that information, first off, this company stopped focusing on fixing the game, and then instead sold a DLC called The Scorched Earth or something like that. And it was a paid deal, so you had to pay for it.
Well,
like it wasn't free. It was a paid DLC that you had to put money into. When the game that it is a DLC for is already still unfinished, that to me is greed. That's greed. That's outright blatant greed. But that's not where Ark or the developers of Ark finish. They then announced a game called Atlas.
Oh, I think I've heard of that, actually, yeah.
Yes, so Atlas was essentially, everybody got hyped for it. It got announced at E3, and they were like, it's coming out very soon. I think it was like a week or like a month later.
How every game sounds.
But no, they announced this game called Atlas, and it essentially was, the best way to describe it is Sea of Thieves, but what everybody wanted with Sea of Thieves, and not a disappointment.
That's so not an Xbox exclusive is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is Sea of Thieves, but with content. That was what Sea of Thieves failed at. Like, the gameplay was great. The like fucking around with friends, it was so much fun. It was just there was nothing to do in the game after a while.
You know a game's a failure when it says Xbox exclusive, you know? Just give up on it, you know? Just give up.
I'm not getting into this.
Meatball. That deserves a...
This will be every week. I'm just gonna be...
This is the spicy meatball that I don't want to eat.
This is anyway, little jabs I'm taking.
Back to my fucking story, you prick.
Sorry, anyway. Papa. Go on. Tell me your story.
No, so anyway, so this game came out, and it was literally a reskinning of Ark.
Awesome.
But with pirate ships, and it was broken and had the same bugs. Someone, I believe, went into a menu and accidentally opened the title menu for Ark.
Yeah, so they probably just used the
Copy
they
and paste.
yeah,
They
like
literally just reskinned it.
Wow.
same engine, like
No,
new.
they grabbed the entire game and went, now let's just put some pirate stuff on it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
work smart, not hard, I guess.
Yeah. But like there was no it was like it was broken, it was buggy, like there wasn't content. So, you know, I don't personally like the developers. And
Fair enough.
what I played of Ark, I didn't enjoy either. To be fair, I played it a while back, so I can't comment as to what it is now like. I will probably download it though, seeing as I do also have it for free thanks to
it's
Epic.
free.
Well, it was free. It's not.
Come ride some dinos with me, dude. It's good content. It's fun.
Look, it's not per se. It's not so much that, but like the only real survival game I actually got into was Conan Exiles.
Oh yeah.
Really?
The caveman one. Yeah.
Far out. That's an obscure one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in the
One
craze
of-
of like all those survival games. They all kind of came out together.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get it when it was during the craze though. I got it years later on sale for like $20 on Steam.
Oh,
And the reason why I got it is one of our Mitch and my mutual friends, he bought it on Steam, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to play a game with you. Let's do it." And so I bought it, and we were playing it together, and we had a fucking blast with that game. Like an absolute blast. That game was so much fun, and I think what made me like it more was the combat felt a bit more in depth compared to the others.
Right.
And like, don't get me wrong, it's still not in depth. Like, it's still basic as fuck. But you know, you have a dodge mechanic in this one.
Oh yeah, a lot of those games don't even bother. It's kind of like a hack and slash.
Exactly. Whereas this one, you had a dodge. You had had a shield that you could use to block. You were locking onto enemies. It just felt fun. It was so much more fun to play in the combat styles, and it was a bit more MMOS because there are dungeons, there's boss fights that you can do where you need multiple players.
It sort of depends on what you're looking for in a survival game. Like for me, for example, like if I'm playing a survival game, I love to build shit. You know, I love to build my base. You know, I love to play with friends. I love to collaboratively build our base together. You know, like that's what I look for. You know, like idiots being like, "Oh, let's build like a 40-story high freaking tower with no supports whatsoever and see how that goes."
That's it. That's the charm. I think like people really love these games when they have a group, you know, when there's people they play together.
Of
because
course.
if you're playing by yourself, like I was just playing by myself just before, and I feel like it can get overwhelming for people, like to maintain everything. It can be boring. You can go do stuff by yourself still. It just takes a lot more time to prepare stuff, like your materials and your crafting and all that stuff. Like you have to do it all yourself, and it's.
I was just gonna say,
hard.
wasn't one of the big like the ones that a lot of people played solo was what was it called? Don't Starve.
Oh yeah. And
that
Don't
was
Starve Together. So they brought out like a multiplayer one of it.
Oh,
as well.
did they? Yeah, is it Don't Starve?
Are you talking about the forest?
Is Don't Starve like
Don't Starve, I
the
thought,
little
was an indie
cartoon
game.
one where you want to find the mammoth poop and stuff, or the buffalo poop?
Yeah. It's like the 2D like paper like
Don't
drawing.
Starve.
Yeah.
That one was originally like all solo play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was originally single player. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then they brought out Don't Starve Together, where they put multiplayer in and you could do it with friends. And I think a lot of people got drawn to it then.
Oh yeah.
When they could play with friends, you know.
Yeah. See, look, I'm just looking at it now. I just saw it come up on Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Survival genre is pretty cool. I just like I said, I just like building shit in those games.
I would love to see what they do with the survival game genre in the new gen, with graphics, with like just smoothness of the game, and see how like how good they can make them. And how
I
imaginative
don't
they can
think
be.
they will.
You don't reckon?
Name a survival game that's come out by a AAA company.
True,
I
but
can
even if
tell
you
you
look
one.
at,
I can tell you one.
but if you look at Ark, right, it's a stunning game, but it just it
Uh,
lacks a. It
I
is. It
would
is.
not
It is
call it
really
stunning.
pretty. It's really pretty.
I would disagree with that.
Oh, it's not like the most pretty game in the bloody world, right? But it's still really pretty to look at, I think. It just lacks the polish. But with time and technology getting better and the next gen coming out soon, I think they can really, make the survival genre a bit better.
Look. I think there is only so much an indie company can do.
Well, the thing is, most
And
survivals are on PC anyway. Like,
yeah,
like the ones that are properly played like online to a large extent are all
True.
PC
And
based.
True.
the other thing is survival games. Name a single survival game that's come out, like a recent survival game that's come out not in early access.
Good question. I'm just gonna go make an indie game company real quick, and I'll get back to you. All right? I'm just gonna
Like,
make one.
look,
I'm just gonna make
the-
one right
the-
now.
The problem is a lot of them do it when it's and they do it and they start it in early access because they don't have the funding. Yeah.
True. Like Subnautica was in early access
Yeah.
for ages.
Subnautica is a gorgeous looking game.
That's a good game.
That is gorgeous.
It also
looking
had a
game.
lot of support from YouTubers. I think that's why.
Yes, it did.
got- yeah.
Well, you were
but
talking
Subnautica
about
is another single player story. There is a story.
yeah, a
Survival
big
game.
story. Well, you were talking about Markiplier before. He was one of the main advocates for Subnautica.
And Jacksepticeye. I think
Yeah.
even PewDiePie played it.
Yeah, he played it recently.
He played it
Shout out-
recently. That was weird.
Shout out to the big three.
Yeah.
Endorse us, please.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy PewDiePie.
Thanks for inviting me to your wedding. Sorry I couldn't come. I was very busy.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for the invite.
I was too busy planning to start a podcast, not actually starting.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't know, man. I don't see it happening. Survival games are not they're not as successful as they once were. They all bandwagoned after Minecraft. And then Rust came out, and Rust did the Minecraft but realistic, and primarily focused on multiplayer.
God, my brother-in-law froths Rust, and I go, why? He goes, oh, literally just because I can do dumb shit and like steal people's shit and kill them. I'm like, oh wow, that's not toxic at all.
Oh,
That-
yeah. PvP
Rust
servers
is
of these
bulletproof.
games are so toxic.
Yeah,
Because the people that can take advantage of it will take advantage of it.
Mhm.
100%. They don't care. They're just there to fuck around. When you got high level, they've kind of done most of the stuff, so all they can do is, kill other people
yeah.
and take their stuff and be mean because it's funny to them. They got nothing else.
Like, since we're on the topic of like survival games, I mean, a pretty big survival game came out a couple of days
Let's
ago.
segue this shit. I
Yeah.
feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
So,
Yeah.
to segue, survival game, zombies,
Zombies.
highly anticipated.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2.
What's that? Never heard
Don't
of it.
know it.
No.
Oh,
Was it-
well, you see, there's this cowboy
Yeah.
and this girl,
Okay.
and they go shooty bang bang.
Girls in games? What?
Oh my god, I know.
Nah, it can't be right.
No.
Have you got the right
Let's get
facts?
serious.
Let's get serious before this becomes too stupid.
No, yeah, so Tolga and I have played The Last of Us Part 2. I haven't finished it yet.
Neither have I.
You haven't?
I'm
Okay.
watching YouTube gameplay.
Ooh.
Hey, fancy.
Your opinion doesn't count anyway.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
No, I would like to hear your opinion, but we're not going to talk about any spoilers for anyone listening
Yeah.
and shitting
Spoiler
their
free.
pants. We will just strictly be talking about like
The broad idea
kind
of it, I guess.
Yeah, a broad idea of what we're getting. Like if we think the voice acting is good, so if the story so far for us has been good, and
Okay.
also just gameplay
Well,
and how it
I'll
plays. and
start
feels.
off because initially from like literally the first scene, my immediate what's the word? Opinion was, holy fuck, these voice actors have taken it to a whole nother level. Now, I might be biased to some degree because I watch a D&D show called Critical Role.
I was about to say, one of the people there voices Ellie, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ashley, is it Johnston? Ashley Johnston. Hold on.
Not sure, but she's terrific.
It's just
Because I was going to comment on it as well. Like I've only seen like maybe half of the game, if that. And yeah, she's just flawless. You wouldn't think that she's some middle-aged woman, would you?
I'm just gonna say, and I said this to Tolga, and that is, welcome to a Naughty Dog game. Naughty Dog always nails their writing, their dialogue, and their voice acting and their casting.
Look, of course, but
sorry, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say, look, like, of course, for example, let's say in this, for lack of a better way to put it, casting directors, when they do their job right and they get it so well, that's great, that's great. But at the end of the day, right, because again, as I was saying, I might be biased because Ashley Johnson plays Ellie, Laura Bailey, who's also in Crit Role, plays Abby, one of the new characters, and Troy Baker, obviously.
Everybody knows who that motherfucker
Everybody
is.
knows. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
but
sorry, if you play story-based games and you don't know who Troy Baker is, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. So, but either way, like,
yeah.
Well, these guys, within the first 5 minutes, you sit there and you're just like, holy shit.
They just immerse you in the world, don't they?
Oh, dude, I sat there because what I was doing, right, is like, I played it and then I go watch someone to gauge their reaction to see, like, just to see other people's opinions, and every time I rewatched literally just the introduction scene where it's just like Troy doing Joel's voice, I was like,
it's phenomenal.
I was like, my God, this, like, they deserve a goddamn Oscar for this shit, man.
Well, the benefit they had of like part 2 is that they'd already had voice actors that won awards for part 1, right? Yeah. So they already had like cushioning and comfort zone for these voice actors because they know they could trust them with it because they're the best at what they do already with these characters. So I think going into the game, you would have had to have expected such high quality voice acting.
I know. I was just so blown away.
Oh no,
it's phenomenal.
They are phenomenal. They are amazing at what they do. They've nailed it.
Absolutely.
With their characterization, they've nailed it with how they've performed every scene. But like, let's just ignoring just the voice acting side of it, but the motion capture side of it, holy shit. Like, I'm not going to talk about specifics, but there is a scene with a character where you see literally her brain ticking. You see her brain ticking with fear, enemy, like there's an enemy next to me. They're helping me out because they don't know who I am. What do I do? Like, type of thing. And you see this ticking behind her eyes.
Yeah, behind the scenes type
it's
thing.
It's the subtleties in this stuff that really make the story and the immersion.
It is phenomenal. And
like, you could kind of clue it up to like Pixar as well. They're really good at their details and their animations and stuff. They're very similar in the style with just those subtle details that make a character so much more believable.
I think the thing is, it's not common in games to have that level of detail. And the only games where I've truly seen it and seen it work so well, not just like the voice acting wise, but again, the motion capture side of it, is Naughty Dog's games.
Speaking of just like motion capture and let's say graphics in general, I've noticed that they really do fucking hair really well.
Mhm.
Like specifically hair. Like I'm talking when like girls' hair is tied in a bun or a
Like a
uh,
long braided ponytail, and
yeah,
it's like
stuff like
wrapped
that, and
around
you're
the
just like,
shoulder.
it's not like this rigid stick of hair. It's like, oh
Yeah.
wow, it's actually
Could you
dynamic.
imagine if they did like a live action Dragon Ball Z game, and they did the hair on that? That would be incredible. I would fund
like,
that. I would fund that.
The amazing part of it is, and I find this really ironic. I heard someone else say this, and I'm taking it from them. So shout out to the Podquisition. But it's quite hilarious that Last of Us Part 1 came out at the end of a generation and showed what you could do with the PlayStation 3. And now it's the exact same thing happening here, where it's like, yeah, we've finally peaked and really shown what the PlayStation 4 can do.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's completely intentional?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's intentional. It's just
Yeah.
Naughty Dog know how to push limits.
Yeah.
They are brilliant at pushing limits in terms of graphical fidelity and how their games look.
Which
and
makes
how they
you
run.
really excited for next gen.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's the as soon as I turned it on, I was like, oh my god, imagine this on the PS5.
Also, just like I know this sounds so weird, but like there were some things I was just absolutely amazed at, like the guitar strings. They actually vibrate, like they look really good when she strums them. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I just amazed by this or floored by this?
Well, that's what I was like with the bloody hair. I was like, why am I looking at the hair?
Like no, but another
Why am I
one was,
looking at the air?
like when your character comes out of water, there's actual droplets of water coming off her face and chin and cheeks, and landing on the water. And when a character cries, you see the tears streak down and meet at the chin, and a droplet.
Yeah,
it's detail you don't see much.
Yeah,
you don't see much of it.
Ever done something like that.
Yeah,
look,
like that is such a minute detail that doesn't really do anything except for you just go, like, if you don't like pay attention to it, you won't fucking notice and care.
No.
But it's just like, because of this, I'm looking at this and going, oh, this is amazing.
I think what it boils down to is just passion, man. Like,
Yeah.
like it's so well written. Like, Andrew, you and I discussed this earlier, in the week, but like, it's, for example, the writing is so good, i.e. Ellie. It is so refreshing to have a strong female character who represents the gay community, but it's not beaten down like a dead horse.
No,
it's not like,
it's not pandering.
yeah, exactly. It's not like, oh, remember Ellie's a girl. Oh, remember, like the whole scenario. And again, I'll use the
It's
same
just
example I
natural.
used with you, like the whole example with like Marvel's Captain Marvel, which was like, oh, your mum's my best friend. Oh, we're best friends. Oh, we were the best pilots together. Oh, I'd do anything for her. Oh, this, oh, that, oh,
Oh,
this.
please
oh,
don't
what if-
bring up Captain Marvel. Oh.
Yeah,
But no,
but
like it's that, like, and it's also like, ugh,
But-
you're just a woman, and then it's like, I am not just a woman, I'm the woman type of thing. Like they
It's
really
like-
have to express being beaten down because they're a woman, and then proving that because they're a woman, they're actually greater. And
Yeah,
that,
like-
that,
oh,
It's not the
Whereas-
message that they're trying to send, it's the execution of it, right?
yeah, exactly.
but like
But,
it's so refreshing for it to just be like, oh wow, like you've just made something organic. You haven't made it like, oh look,
Yeah.
look, this person's saying this and that and this and that. Like, it's just like, this is who she is.
To be fair, when I was like, because obviously I'm watching gameplay on YouTube, as I said, I was looking at and expecting that kind of storyline to be like just beaten down, like you were saying, how the execution was going to be like sloppy, because it's not all sunshine and daisies down at Rockstar and Last of Us 2.
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog, sorry, Rockstar. I'm thinking about GTA. Yeah, Naughty Dog, sorry. Because it has its controversies, and I was hearing about it, and people were like, spam spamming like bad ratings for it for no reason. You know, trolls out on the internet. You can't help it these days.
Oh,
Um,
apparently I heard that they had a problem. People have had a problem with the Jewish character.
Really, I haven't come across it yet, so I don't know. I don't know. But what I was
What?
saying is that when I was watching the story, and obviously that storyline between, well, that kind of support around the gay community, it, it's just natural, as you're saying. So
Yeah,
anyone that has a problem with that, I don't understand.
No.
Because
At that point,
if you want to
just
represent a normal relationship, that's probably as normal as you'll find. You know,
Yeah,
it's just
like
normal.
we've said, it's natural.
It's
It
natural.
it doesn't feel pushed.
No,
There is a reason why it's there. There's a reason why it's shown there, and
I mean,
it's
the only thing is like they use the word babe too much. It's a word I don't need to hear. I don't personally like the word. There's nothing wrong with the word. It's just a personal thing. If it's a guy,
Sorry,
whether it's a
sounds
girl,
you need to
pet names.
harden the fuck up.
Nah, it's just like, oh, want to come over here, babe? It's like well, you're in an
Actually, there
apocalypse.
was a moment, and it was almost like a bro moment where they were like, they just straight up said something, and then
I'm pretty sure the love interest just looked at Ellie and just went, "Babe."
Babe.
It's like bro. It was fucking great. I appreciated it.
Mm.
But no, like, can I get into the gameplay?
Yeah, sure, go
I'd
for
like-
it. Go for it.
No, you're not allowed. This is not your podcast anymore. I'm taking it over.
It's the Tolga podcast now.
Yes,
Um,
it's purely
but no.
about the 5 letters in my name. Uh-oh. Andrew.
Yes. No. So I was sorry. I was just paused because I was just kind of blown back by how stupid you were.
Oh, short story.
I love
why
you
we-
though.
That's why we're
No.
friends,
So
mate.
the gameplay, man. Oh, the gameplay. Look, it's Last of Us gameplay, the same from the original game, just kind of tweaked and refined, in my opinion. Now, look, I've heard a lot of people complain about it.
Really?
They've added
Yeah.
some really cool stuff, like the physics mechanics in it.
I've heard a lot of people. Look, a lot of people didn't like the original Last of Us gameplay either, and I didn't mind it in the original. I thought it could have been better, and I feel like, in my opinion, they literally answered all my problems. Like, and just like small things like adding a prone button. I know that sounds so weird to be so happy that they've added a prone button, but it gives this extra dynamic to the stealth. You know, being
Oh
able
yeah,
to
it
crawl through the grass and
Mm.
crawl under like a bed and wait for an enemy. And like, I don't know if this happened to you, Tolga, but when you first learn about the prone,
Yeah.
you're not made aware that enemies will look underneath and look for
No,
you underneath. the
no,
items.
you are not. That
And
is
so
very true.
I had a mission later on where I hopped under a train,
Yes.
and I'm like, yeah, fuck, sweet, I'm set. And 2 enemies just squatted and looked right at me.
It's that oh shit moment, run.
Well, there's the realism, isn't it? I mean, people wouldn't just walk past; they'd look under and inspect it, wouldn't they?
Of course, but it's just like, because you weren't told this earlier, and I'd seen no one do this previously.
Yeah, that's a
And-
bit stiff.
And
Survival.
just out of nowhere, they just went, "Yep, we're looking under now." I was like, "Fuck."
Well,
Thankfully,
it's because normally you're in such like open areas, you're not necessarily prone under stuff.
no,
like-
you're hiding in grass, prone
Yeah,
in like
so
grass.
prone mostly comes into like tall grass areas.
Mm.
And even then it's like, if you move while someone's somewhat approaching the tall grass, they can see you. And like, sure, fair enough. But you're not really ever like underneath a car or a train or, whatever you may or may not be underneath.
Exactly.
So it's it's quite like, because he's on this topic, another one of the things that they smash out of the park is atmosphere.
Mhm.
So I don't know, Mitch, if you're listening with like fully decked out, $1 billion headphones.
No, I'm not. Definitely
But
not.
but look, you get my point. But I've made an effort to play all the game with headphones.
Headphones.
Time.
And like you can just like sit essentially in a room, and you can hear clickers off in the distance. You can hear the creaking of the wood. You can hear like water droplets.
I have something I need to get off my chest with the clickers.
Well,
I thought I was used to them by now because I played the last
first one,
and they still are fucking horrifying.
They are terrifying.
Scared the living shit out of me.
Well, when you're put into a realistic environment with these sort of creatures around you, and the sound and the ambient sound and the environment that just makes it so believable, and you're immersed in those headsets, of course, because that's all you're hearing and all you're looking at in front of you. You're never going to get used to that.
I start sweating as soon as we get into the infected section. I'm like, oh fuck.
I'll tell you how bad it's gotten for me. For the past, what day is it today? 3 days, I have been having nightmares of just run-ins with infected. Not like nightmares as in I wake up kicking and screaming. Nightmares as in I have them as in me trying to not get mauled by infected. And I wake up and I just go, well, that was fucked. Go back to sleep, have an even worse one, and wake up and just be like, holy fuck, I need water.
Man, you need to play some Ark. You need to chill out for a while, I think.
Oh yeah, great idea. Have him have nightmares about velociraptors. Really good.
Nah, they're not scary. Actually, the scariest thing in Ark is the snakes. Fuck, they're scary. But anyways.
From Australia, fuck that.
Oh, anyways, go and talk about your Last of Us part.
Okay. Speaking of velociraptors, there is a pleasant Easter egg that you can actually find at some point in the game, and I will leave it to our viewers and potential future viewers to figure that out for themselves. But just know it's out there.
I think I know which part you're talking about.
Do you?
One of my favorite Easter eggs.
Yeah. Is it in a flashback scene?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I might know what you're talking
It is indeed.
I haven't seen it, but that would be where I'd guess it would be.
Yes.
Now, obviously they brought in new characters with this game, such as Dina and, is it Abby?
Yes.
What do you guys, because I haven't seen the whole game, but what do you think of the new characters, like the characters?
We can't speak about anything that will require...
No, but do you get a general... Do you think they add more to the story, or is it like nothing? It doesn't really matter either way. Do you think they're built as good characters, or are they a bit nothing?
I think Dean is a phenomenal character, and I think all the characters are written well. Look, man, this is a really tough thing to do.
Yeah, this is
borderline. Yeah, obviously, we don't want to spoil anything, but I just was seeing if you could give like a broad idea of what you felt about them all.
Really well. Yeah. I think Dina is actually one of the better characters in the game. Strictly because she is kind of like this anchor to Ellie for the story. And she's kind of like the straight man in the way of she is very much the sane in that she's thinking
the straight edge sword type thing.
She's kind of the humane person. I think she's phenomenal. She's done really well. There are other characters that are also written phenomenally. Again, I just can't mention anything due to spoilers.
Yeah, that's all right. We can steer away from this.
But look,
specifically is such an eggshell character to talk
about. Well, just to be broad, I think overall all the characters are
phenomenal.
Well written. Very well written. But yeah, man, it's look, like if I was to ever bring up problems with it, the problems I'm bringing up are me being like extremely nitpicky about it because it's so well made. Like, for example, there's just I've spoken to this
I
with
know
Andrew a
exactly
couple
what you're
times,
about to say.
but there's just dumb, there's just dumb shit because my play style in any really story based game is I love to go out, I love to go collect the shit, I love to make sure I get all the upgrades. I love taking my time. And so obviously this is would you say semi open world game?
It's an open spaced game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love to take my time, and there's just these problems of like, for example, first time I experienced it, I was locked off from an area because of a cutscene, even though I was literally still in that area. Second time, it was just like I jumped a fence one way, and then I wanted to upgrade one of my guns, and I needed like one scavenger part. Jumped another fence, went and got like 5 scavenger. I was like, okay, I'll go back. Literally on the same level that I jumped at the other direction, I couldn't jump at the other direction, like back over. I was like, oh my god, okay, sure, I'll wait for the next one. And then there was almost another incident, and Andrew, you were present for
I was
that.
on the phone to you at that.
Yeah, you were on the phone for that one, but I saved that one by just going back to the checkpoint. But that's just me being really, really nitpicky because like when you essentially when you feel like you're playing at such a high quality, if something like subpar average is to happen, it's just more noticeable. Like
That's fair
Like-
enough, and I think that's a valid like complaint to have with a game, especially if you think of it as like an open world or able to walk around and explore and take your time. Because I think it kind of pushes for that slower game style. Because
The problem is because there are collectibles and there are things that you find in the game that benefit you that you find through exploring. It's stressful when you go, I missed this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I might miss something like
It's a game that wants to support that game style, that play style. Sorry, yet
I
it's
had
blocking you
Olga,
off.
as well.
you
I
you
had
what? Sorry.
I had an experience of that as well in the early game.
Yeah.
You get a very open, expansive area. And
Yeah.
you get little things like little question marks that you slowly unlock through.
Yeah. We spoke about this. Yeah.
Item they'll drop you. One of them gives you a weapon, a new weapon. One of them gives you like a weapon holster, so you have like you can hold 2 of that style of weapon.
Did you ever get that weapon, by the way?
Yeah, you get it later on again. So like that's okay. You can get them later on.
Yeah.
But, like I'd marked everything on the map. I'd gotten everything marked on the map. But when I looked at it, I thought I'd done everything, but I didn't realize I missed one on the bottom corner.
Yeah.
And so I continued, and I finished this mission, and they never come back to that area.
Yeah. Look,
I-
again,
Fuck, I've missed something. And I spoke to Tolga, and Tolga goes, oh yeah, this gives you this. Which I was like, oh great, I just lost a weapon. Like an actual weapon.
yeah. It's look, again, this is like being extremely nitpicky because you hold it with such high regard. Like there's like, for example, another tiny one is like I experienced it the other day where like I went to walk around a car, but there was like one bush branch between the car and the where you're not supposed to walk, and you can't walk past that single bush branch.
Yep.
And I was just like,
Humans can't deal with bushes. Yeah, what can I say?
yeah,
Can't do it. But I think that's a still valid complaints. It's better than what these other people, because you still hold the game in high regards, where you got people posting on whatever rating they're doing, and they're going 1 star, the grass was too tall, or some shit like that, and it's just not fair.
no Pokemon came out of the tall grass.
Yeah, didn't get a shiny Pokemon. 1 star. Fuck.
That's
People, man.
that's trolls. That's trolls. You don't listen to it, but like
No, but there's so many of them.
it's like the game, and if they give valid, like I've read some, and some of it is valid criticism, but it is very much a it's a subjective criticism versus an objective criticism. I find that people who have actually played the game, there are two camps. They either love it or they hate it.
Well, like I said, I was speaking to a friend about it today, and apparently, like, they had a problem with a Jewish character. And I was like, but
Are they
why?
Jewish themselves?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
They're not. They're I don't know, Catholic or
Yeah. So were
something
they?
or other.
What were their problems
No,
with it?
no, they didn't have a problem with it, but they said that they had read people having problems with the Jewish character, and I'm like,
I don't know how tangible that is,
but why? It's like it's a well, even so, if he's heard it somewhere, it's on the it's like someone on the internet has
someone's
had an issue
either
with
like
it.
trying to get views by having some obscure
Right.
opinion, or who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows?
Yeah. I'm in saying that Jewish character is only mentioned to be Jewish once, and their religion doesn't come up again.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, why? Like, why are you going out of your own way to waste your energy on something on something so insignificant? It doesn't matter if like, why does it matter that part of that character's backstory where you go experience I forget what it's called, but they go to a Jewish church. It's got a specific name. I can't remember what it's called.
I'm just gonna let you bury yourself in that grave.
Yeah.
What?
But,
You don't know the name of the church? Disrespectful. Wow. This is
You have the
2020.
right to comment now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go there once, and it's just giving backstory. You know, if they'd gone to a church
Hmm.
or a mosque, why does it shouldn't matter. You're just
No.
getting context. Like,
Exactly.
who cares?
People
you know?
are just, I find, are so self-entitled and just think their opinion is so high value that they'll just throw it out there without a care in the world, you know? Like, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but people just don't care anymore. They just say what they want, whether it's got facts behind it, whether it hasn't. It's ridiculous. You could say the same about journalism and stuff, but we're just talking about trolls and people in the gaming community.
Yeah.
It's turning so toxic because you've got fan bases that are just so aggressive and don't take games for what they are, you know? A lot of people go into games with set opinions of what they should be in their own head, and then when it has a small tune that strays away from their idea of it, they'll shit on it.
It's terrible. It's the worst game.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody earlier today about it, and I find it really interesting. One of the YouTubers that I watch frequently his name's Jim Sterling.
Oh, shout out.
Shout
God
out. Yes.
damn.
A lot of shout outs today. Please sponsor us.
Popular. Jim Sterling, if you earn millions because of our podcast, please send me a message because I'm a big fan. And
I'm actually emailing. I'm kind of sending him $1 million right now.
Who have we free plugged so far? We've got Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Jim
they
Sterling.
really needed our free plug.
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely just built, like, we just gave them a million subscriber with
To little Timothy that's watching right now. All right, go subscribe to these people. All right, it'll change your life.
Be a great way to network other people to content creators that really need it. But you know, look at the size. It could have been us that did this. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, we're just giving people.
Hold on, bro. You just got really serious for a second. What?
What?
I didn't hear what you said. I just heard content creators who deserve it, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's a very serious sentence."
No, we're just giving people. We're giving.
Anyway, Jim Sterling was talking about, you know, a lot of gamers complain about having quote unquote politics in their video games. And Jim Sterling made a very valid point, that is, these same people also like to believe that games are a form of art. And name one medium of art that does not express political views.
That's true.
Yeah, you know?
I don't think there's anything wrong with politics in games, but I'll let you go on.
Another thing is, like he also points out that there are so many games with political messages that might not necessarily be intended, but they are there. He brought up a good one, like it's a small game, you might not know it. Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, tiny game. Never heard
Really
of
not well. But
Is
Final
that
Fantasy
like
VII
Boat Simulator?
it.
Yeah. It's a really good, really apt comparison. Not as big as Goat Simulator though. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's yeah, because
so
I haven't really heard of it. Yeah,
It's not as open world as Goat Simulator, right?
can
No,
you can you jump across fences in Final Fantasy VII? Do they even have fences?
They do have fences. Whether or
Do
not
they even have goats?
For fuck's sake. Okay, let me continue. Anyway, so this game is all about eco-terrorists fighting a giant corporation that is destroying the planet by taking its resources. It is a giant it's a giant shitfest on capitalism and a giant shitfest um on global warming, etc., the damaging of a planet through greed, and that is a political point. Like you can't argue that. You know that there is a clear political view there.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring you
Um,
back to like Captain Marvel and stuff. It's not about the politics that's wrong. It's all about the execution. It has everything
Yes.
to do with it. And if you
No,
do it
but
wrong, people
Talking
will
about
shit on you.
the execution, these people are strictly saying keep your politics out of my video games, and I agree. There are some where it is strictly pandering.
Yeah,
I
100%.
agree. Um,
To a
but
degree, I understand because at the end of the day, a lot of people like play games as an escape from
Yeah,
the
I was
real
about to
world.
say.
Yeah, you like
you have
go-
those that you can escape from,
yeah.
and even then, like you look at games with like fantasy games like that are single player, they will still have a political take.
Yeah.
Whether it's not an actual intended take, you bring it into the real world, there is a take that you can get from some of these games. Again, Final Fantasy VII, like I said, people played that back in the day to escape from reality. It doesn't change the fact that it is all about eco-terrorism.
Yeah.
And save the planet. Or the Division 2, which has a pro stance against an armed state. And how the Amendment is, like, even though that's not necessarily what they thought they were going for, that's what they state in their cutscenes, etc. I just think there are people who are just frustrated with pandering, but then there are people who are just outright, no matter what it is, if it's a political view that I may or may not agree with, or that I most likely won't agree with, I will not listen to it and do not put it in my video games. And I think people need to understand as well, if you do have those problems, don't buy the game.
Yeah.
That is the easiest response.
Look, again, like, look, I think we should maybe move on from
100%. I agree.
from the topic just because we don't want to. Again, we said lighthearted and we're getting a bit serious.
We are getting a bit too.
Yeah, come to Ark, dude. I'm chopping down ecosystems, and there's no vegans, there's no greenies. All right, it's easy, easy peasy.
But just another note on the game, just because I personally love it, and I spoke about this with you, Andrew, because we've been talking about it a lot.
We have.
Their world building. Now, what I mean by that is, you'll go to an area, you'll find a dying note, and that dying note will be like XXX happened, this person's missing, blah 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 blah, and then
And I hope that they get back to me soon.
yeah, and then you go back to another place, and it's that person that was missing and their note, and it does this thing, and I'm not entirely sure why it's such a strong reaction. but it creates such a visceral feeling of the direness of the current world that they're living in. You
Just
know, the
like,
fact that it,
or like
the
struggle.
struggle, you know, like
Yeah.
it just, and not to mention the literal wording of the way that they write the letters feels so human. You know,
Mm.
it's not that like perfect grammatical, like everything's spelt correct.
I mean, there's straight
Um,
up a note of someone that drew dicks and boobs that were born.
yeah, on the back of the thing, you read the serious note on one end, and then you flip it, and it's got dick and balls and boobs on it.
But like, to your point, Tolga, I was actually gonna say, like, it's also, it just shows this kind of like the sad part about like that one specifically that you mentioned. When when you go back, it's like they weren't that far away from each other. Like,
No, they
then,
weren't.
you know, a few sections down, not even. And so it's like really almost gut wrenching because you're like, you were probably 20 minutes away, or you were about 20 minutes until you got back in real life walking or whatever.
And
And
because you were so terrified you couldn't make it there.
and because of this small situation, you missed it by that much type of thing. And it's just amazing how they portray that. And I think another thing that they really do nail as well is, and I think we should end it on this, and that is just how they've done something with NPCs that I personally think no other game's done. And that is, they've named most of the NPCs.
Yeah.
Maybe not in subtitles. In the subtitles, they'll just have, WLF soldier, for
Yeah.
example. But when you kill an enemy, and if someone sees that dead body, they will actually say, "Fuck, they've killed," let's say, Roxy.
Insert name here.
And then like for another one, for example, if you're in if you're in a shootout and you shoot someone in the middle of the shootout, the other person will scream like "no" and then go, or like they'll scream the actual character's name. Like, it is amazing little bits of that detail. Just like it just
It's
adds to it.
effort.
Like,
It's all, as you said, passion and effort into these games that
Yeah.
make it what they are.
absolutely.
But
I think
yeah,
we should go.
you want to move on?
Yeah, I think we should continue. I think that's where we should leave it. Right now, I'm rating this game at a 9 out of 10. In my
Wow.
opinion, it is amazing. Look, I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way. I will probably later on maybe change my mind once I finish the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm at a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting around the same spot, you know, like it's just well made. It feels like they took their time with it. They really, you know, wanted to give the players another game that they could love.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done.
So, for me, as a person who doesn't really play too many single player games, I too think the detail is amazing, voice acting's amazing, graphics, all that, world creation, it's just incredible. For me, I don't enjoy the slow gameplay. Again, this is all biased and this is only my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. I was going to say something else as well. I don't really care for the story. I feel like I'm watching One Piece, where I've been watching for 3 hours and I've done nothing to progress. You know, this is just me, and I know it builds on the later story and kind of brings it all together. But yeah, just for me, it's a bit slow. But yeah, so I'd give it maybe I'd still give it high because I think it's an incredibly detailed game. So I'd probably give it about a 7. Personally.
I get that. I will disagree with you on the slow pace. I think the slow pace needs to be like that.
This is, as I said, I know it's meant to be, and it probably benefits the game as the style it is. I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I get that. I respect your opinion, even though it's trash.
Well, you know what? I'll live as trash. That's fine.
You will forever be the trash.
Rough. Big off.
I'll be sitting here with my Goat Simulator, alright?
Hey, Goat Simulator is not trash. That is a fucking art. That is an art. Like that masterpiece. Cinematically, just gameplay wise. Anyway.
Alright, let's move on.
I want to talk about the EA Live Play now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, go for it.
Do we have to?
I'll let you guys handle this.
It's EA, come on.
Fuck it, why not? So EA did a live stream to announce their games. It was their version of E3, guys. It was a fucking dumpster fire. I have never cringed so much in my life. The entire the host, I don't know who he is, don't remember his name, but I don't know if he was improvising or if it was written dialogue, but I've never wanted to kill somebody just to save the cringe that they are inducing on people. Like, it is just it was so bad. Not to mention, they announced, I think, upwards of 4 to 5 games. Like, none at all.
Oh, God.
Let alone showing gameplay. They barely showed any of that. It was all just, here at EA, we're making games. And we're gonna do good, and they look pretty.
Oh, my God.
I mean, they do look pretty.
Yeah, great. They look pretty.
Yeah, but no one gives a single fuck when they're all the same game every single fucking year.
It's not even that. No one gives a fuck. Like, indie games prove that graphics are not everything. You know, and sometimes EA makes a really phenomenal game. Sometimes they do, like, you know, Respawn's fucking knocking it out of the park. But just wait till EA gets their claws into them properly, you know? You know, they announced there was one game that I liked the concept of. I've totally forgotten the name of it. What's the name of it? It's a new indie game. It looked really, really neat.
Look, from what all I remember from this fucking EA mumbo jumbo crap is another $110 FIFA and another freaking $110 NFL game, which I didn't even know people actually still fucking played.
Madden. It's massive.
Yeah,
Madden.
it is. But if they don't fix FIFA, people will stop playing and they'll go to what's the other football one? Ultimate Football, bloody
Pez.
Pez. Yeah, they'll go to Pez instead.
Yeah,
Mitch, that's the problem.
No, they will.
They haven't updated FIFA in years. But
it gets more and more buggy every year, and people have been making memes and jokes about, you know, FIFA 2020, and it's just so bad. It's supposed to be a realistic embodiment of the sport, you know, and it's just broken.
It's broken, but the thing is, it doesn't matter. They're making hundreds of millions, billions of dollars off of those ultimate card packs. But
dude,
until stop buying that, they won't listen, and are still buying it because it is the main player base of FIFA are so casual that all they mainly play is FIFA. That is the primary game, and so they don't really have anything to base it off. They don't listen to people who talk shit on podcasts. They don't read news articles.
What do you mean? They don't listen to NerdSpice? Fucking idiot. No, Jesus Christ.
We're going to change
We're going to bring ourselves into the mainstream. We're changing FIFA for the better. You heard it here first.
Look, man, everyone knows that EA is the ultimate cash grab company, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone knows that.
Next to Activision, I'd say they're equal.
See, now, so I experience this every single goddamn year.
Your brother.
Of my brother showing me the goddamn new FIFA trailer. This year, he showed me the entire trailer is just flashing fucking colors
Mm-hmm.
and like weird freeze frame moments of people like running and like being in that stereotypical running position, slightly kicking a ball, and like, you know, just stupid like fucking pandering of just, oh look, it's the new FIFA. He literally stopped the video and I go, bro, you just wasted 4 minutes of my life
Mhm.
for no reason. And every year this happens.
Mhm.
Every single year. And I don't fucking get it. Like, in his case, fair enough. He got an injury, I don't know, a couple months ago. Tore his ACL. He loves soccer. That's all
ACL.
right. He loves to play the game, so he's gonna live vicariously through this FIFA game. Sure, whatever. But the thing is, he makes sure he's got the most ultimate edition of it. He's got the bundle that comes with the most stuff, the steel bookcase, and he makes sure it's pre-ordered the day of the announcement of the goddamn game.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
I think there's just a massive culture and community around the sport, football and soccer, as we call it in Australia. They just all band together and they all just like breathe it in. It's like their oxygen, you know. They love it. They can't get enough of it.
Oh, I can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the culture, dude. It's the culture. Everyone who likes the sport must get FIFA, or else they're not a true fan. It's kind of like that sort of mentality, I feel.
more of the best way to compare FIFA, people who play FIFA, they're almost like people who play mobile games.
Hey, come on. No,
Are you bringing this up because of what we spoke about this morning?
Oh yeah, you'd laugh at that, Mitch. But no, but like, not as in mobile gacha games or shit like that. Even though you're still a fucktard if you play them as well. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, guys. It's not true.
This episode is not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, unfortunately. Raid, hit us up, please.
Take your money. But I'm more talking on games like Candy Crush. You know, stuff like that.
It's my
It
jam.
is that mentality, and that is the same with FIFA. That people who play FIFA do not look in depth into like how little they improve. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
They
but
don't
like,
care.
just on Mitch's point earlier, like culture, yeah, sure. Obviously, football is the most popular game in the world, right? Like that's well and like all good and well and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, let's say the current fanatics have their dads who lived and breathed it as kids and actually played it on the street and actually actively, you know, tried to make it so ingrained in their lives as kids that they're now crazy fanatics, you know, the stereotypical like European dad, you know, yelling at the screen, throwing like his water bottle at the wall, you know, like all that stuff. But the thing is, I still don't think if they, you know, were to, it's hard way to, if they were to be interested in games, so to speak, technologically, with it and actually played these games, I don't think they'd like it.
No, they wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. It's that
because it's so unrealistic. It's not like the sport they actually like.
Well, exactly. So
it's a rehash. The problem is it's a rehash. It's not even whether or not it's unrealistic.
Because even when my brother was not injured and he'd play like God knows how many hours per week, I'd say to him, I go, just call your friends, man. Go to the park and go kick a ball together. It's not hard. Like, why is this? Why spend this much money just for the same game every year?
We used
Anyway.
to Tolga and I, whenever I'd go visit him and catch up, we used to sit on the couch and shit on his brother while he played FIFA for hours. We made a sport out of shitting on his brother playing FIFA. It was amazing. Like I
Oh.
wish we had like a full like live television crew. We should have had some commentators like on it. Like it was something different.
We should have been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Please hit us up.
Forget Raid Shadow Legends. We're getting sponsored by Goat Simulator. I think that's the future.
Dude, Goat Simulator, if they paid me money, I would dress up as a fucking goat.
Hell yeah, I'd get my webcam going.
I mean,
Nope.
is it dress up at this point or?
Yeah, do we want to go as different animals?
I'll pretend it's just for Goat Simulator.
Yeah, we're not furries or anything. We just like goats. I mean, Goat Simulator. I didn't mean just goats. I mean, goats are
I
cool.
wasn't weirdly aroused by the Assassin's Creed Odyssey scene where you put a glass eye up a goat's butt. I wasn't.
What?
Huh?
What? What?
So what else was at this EA Live?
Oh wow, EA, what a great company. Let's talk about them again.
I figured out. It's called Lost in Random.
What's called Lost in Random?
The indie game that got announced.
Oh
that I liked.
yes. My bad.
It looked really cool. Like it's got this like really gorgeous Tim Burton-esque like graphics art. Oh, like it reminds me of
Bro, Tim Burton art makes me uncomfortable. I'm not playing it.
Pardon?
Tim Burton art gets me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
it's
get
like
I get
fine.
severe cases of uncanny valley. For those who don't know.
Amazing. It's like like Coraline.
Oh fuck! Please
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas is all right. Coraline, no, please
Yeah, man.
no.
The buttons.
Closer to Nightmare Before Christmas. But it's like that style. That
What's it called again? Sorry.
Lost in Random.
Lost in Random. Yeah.
And, it's got this like dice rolling.
Oh god.
Like gameplay and like it looked really neat. I really liked it. It was the most interesting thing that they announced, in my opinion.
I'm looking at the trailer now. Haven't seen this because again, the only EA stuff I saw was the flashing lights of footballs.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at it later as well. I haven't seen it. The only thing I bothered to look at was the Squadrons gameplay, because I mentioned it last week.
Do you want to talk about that? Considering
Well, I don't remember an awful lot, but it was actually had a lot more depth in the game than what I thought. Because I didn't expect it to have a story mode, which it does. It has a full story mode where you follow two factions, being the Empire, which has just fallen, and the Rebellion. So you kind of...
So it takes place after the third original trilogy.
Yeah, I think it takes part after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure is what I got from the trailer. Yeah. And basically, the story follows those two factions, and you're in these two squadrons. And you kind of go back and forth between those two squadrons, and the one that you end up choosing to play as predominantly, I'm not sure if it's the whole time or whether you choose which one you want to win, kind of chooses where the story kind of goes in the end. And it's really cool. And it looks a lot more detailed than I thought. The multiplayer looks a lot more detailed with like its skill trees and like being good at a specific fighter and the roles. It kind of reminded me of like that style, like Overwatch. You'd play a specific type of fighter for a specific role, which is generally what these fighters and these ships would do.
Yes.
Which I found interesting. So it actually seems like it'd be like a strategic multiplayer game when you play the dogfight or the 5v5 mode. So there's actually like 2 or 3 multiplayer modes, not just the one 5v5, which is really cool.
Why the fuck does the dice have an eye?
Because it's a character.
Oh, it's made me so fucking uncomfortable.
I love it. Anyway,
sorry.
You're right.
like with Squadrons. The one thing I would really love for them to do is I'd love them to turn it into just being like the 5v5, like have it 5v5, but almost go the Titanfall route where they have NPCs and bots.
Mm.
in there as well, and just make it seem like a bigger fight than it
Yeah.
actually is.
What?
know?
See, what I'm concerned about in terms of essentially in space team deathmatch is what if like obviously it's the next gen, so it'll probably be able to cope entirely fine, but you know, what if you sort of get in that scenario where it does that whole thing where you fly out of bounds and you do the weird backflip type thing? You know what I mean? Like you sort of hit that invisible wall and then it spins you around, or that invisible wall just blocks you off from an entire section that looks playable. Like essentially, if the maps just are very small.
I would imagine they'd make the area quite large, especially if it's to do with the airships or spaceships, I
Yeah.
should say.
Small because
You
There's
need a
only-
large area.
Well, I obviously you'd need a large area, but for example, what if it's very linearized?
right.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
because at the end of the day, you want to be a flying ship.
I don't think people will stray too far because it's only a 5v5 is the most. So there's only 10 people in a
Yeah,
multiplayer
true.
match. So it shouldn't be too bad. People shouldn't be going out so far that EA are like getting backlash for how big their map size are, you know?
So, the thing is that's something we can't even comment or worry about until
Yeah, until we see it really.
yeah,
Is there?
PvP game, something like that. That's so inconsequential because it is strictly you're focusing on the PvP. You know, you want to be a cool ship pilot, like a fighter pilot and shit, but like you're not going. Oh, I want to just explore space in the middle of this team deathmatch. You know.
Yeah, look, man, I don't know, bro. To some degree fell out of love with Star Wars after after I'll say Rogue One.
Oh, I didn't like Rogue
Purely-
One, but everyone loved it.
Purely because, well, here's my opinion on Rogue One. It's all right, and then Darth Vader comes into the film, and it's the best fucking scene in
Oh,
history.
that is a phenomenal scene.
Yeah, like the whole. No one knew we needed horror Darth Vader,
Nah,
but
I
we
mean,
needed it.
that almost redeemed the film for me. I say almost.
Yeah. But see, so I sort of fell out of love with Star Wars, especially with the new sequel, especially with the new sequel trilogy. Like,
Yeah.
that's a rant for it. Like, I could do a whole episode
Yeah, you really could. And
on the rise of the Skywalker film.
look, I will say, well, first of all, you want to talk about toxic communities. That is the most toxic franchise community in the world, I would say. I would say they are the worst. But I'm going to get ripped on if anyone ends up watching this podcast, but I actually enjoyed the films for what they were. I'm not saying they were the best they possibly could have been, and the story
I'm going to quote Mitchell.
was the best of where they were, but I enjoyed them.
Please swarm his house.
Yeah, come get me.
One of my
Swarm his house.
favorite quotes from Mitchell when The Last Jedi first came out, and I fucking hated it, was, and this, look, to be fair, Mitchell had just watched it, so he was a bit in love, so take it as you will.
Yeah.
It is a cinematic masterpiece.
Oh, I did. Oh, no, seriously. I thought that the cinematography and everything they did with it, it looked stunning. It looked absolutely stunning.
Oh, it looks stunning, but it held absolutely zero bearing to any of the story in any regard.
Mate, I just remember being in the front. I was at the front row because there were no seats with me and my two mates looking at this big ass cinema screen, and it was just, we had the best time watching it. I loved that film.
Look.
That film is the most divisive for me because I'm like, there are scenes where it looks absolutely gorgeous, but then there are scenes where it looks like a 2-year-old put a green screen in front of their fucking camera.
Oh,
and
dude, look.
greens in front of it. But anyway, let's continue. We don't want to.
Yeah, like I said, a whole episode just on the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
But
look,
yeah.
the rest of it was fucking boring. The rest of the EA Live play was really boring and cringe. They announced Skate 4, showed nothing of it.
No,
I mean,
people love that.
the thing about Skate is, just because you're making Skate 4 doesn't mean anything. You need to make Skate 4, and then you need to make it glitchy as fuck.
Absolutely.
You need to make it a
That's-
meme. That's why it's so
that's-
popular.
Yeah, that's why Skate 3 was popular. So if you're making Skate 4, it's effectively the skating game of Goat Simulator.
But like, see,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't enjoy it really just because of the glitches. I loved the gameplay of Skate 3. That was funner than Tony Hawk's for me. Like, I found it so fun. But I do.
Oh,
agree with glitches.
I never played those games, bro. Like
Josh and I we could spend a whole episode on our Skate 3 adventures.
Yeah, see, my like childhood games or young games wasn't like Mario or Skate 3 or
Skate 3 wasn't a childhood game. That was early, like,
or even stuff like you mentioned last week, like playing Crash Bandicoot and shit together like that. Or what was it, Crash, or did you mention Ratchet and Clank? I think you said Ratchet and Clank last week.
Ratchet and Clank last week, yeah.
Yeah. So I like those. As much as they were part of my childhood at some stage, they weren't like.
So Tolga,
Yes.
appreciate where you're going with this, but we are actually going to bring that stuff up in a later episode as a get to know the podcasters. So
We're having a get to know the.
Oh, is this like a hold hands in a circle and tell one good thing and one bad thing about you?
Oh my god.
Get to know the group.
Mitchell, you may struggle to find the good thing, but we'll help you. But no,
No, I'd appreciate that.
I do want to later on do an episode where we do talk about like a nostalgic game, a game from our childhood that really kind of
gamer games.
A gamer game.
I'm a gamer.
Anyway, let's continue. I've got a few news stories. This one will be quick about it. I'm pretty sure this happened when just as we'd recorded last week, but Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed. CD Projekt Red has delayed it to November.
Big off.
Yep.
September release.
Again, I don't really care. Single player, I wasn't planning to play it.
This is my most anticipated game of the year.
Yeah, I'm in the minority here.
Well, yeah, you only play online shit, so that's
yeah.
But like, yeah, it's a shame, but I think it's very simple. It's simply put is I'd rather them delay it and perfect it.
Put out a broken game.
And like CD Projekt Red seems to really care about that shit. So if they think they need more time, give them more fucking time.
I just want Benedict Keanu. That's what I want.
I just want Keanu in my head all day, every day.
In your head or bed?
Well, he's in your head.
But do you want him in your bed as well?
Well, I mean, if he's in my head, he can be in my bed.
He's breathtaking.
Oh,
He is breathtaking.
He is breathtaking.
Anyway, let's continue on to the next one. Now, Tolga, I think this will be more targeted towards you. So last week, the day after Last of Us Part 2, I believe. No, it was a couple days before.
yes.
The Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC came out.
Oh, yes, it indeed did. Yes, that is the case.
What I don't understand Pokemon DLC. So they made this thing where they
Look, I'll give you the short answer. All right.
Yeah.
I'll give you the short answer. Games are coming out on the Switch. The Switch, they've effectively, like everyone knows, the Switch is Nintendo's way of perfecting putting the Nintendo DS and the Wii in one thing.
Sure.
Right? Or the Wii U, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? That's their way. They've perfected that combo.
Yeah.
So what it is essentially, instead of releasing like them doing, this Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, and then Pokemon Bow and Arrow or whatever.
Yeah.
Now every single game on the Switch, no matter what the Switch is, almost always gets a a DLC.
But why are they bringing out DLC for Pokemon that are already released in the world?
So
you're not getting new content.
Due to limitations of their look, I'm not one to agree with this, but they had essentially they're introducing old Pokemon that weren't in the original game. They're also introducing brand new Pokemon and brand new versions of older Pokemon as well.
I know this is a bit of an old, beating on an old horse, but they originally said they were not bringing out those old Pokemon to bring in better detail for the Pokemon that were in it and the animations, and it was still broken.
Yeah.
So what did we gain from that? You know.
Look,
and now we're having to pay for it.
We're not actually here to talk about the DLC specifically.
No, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Now, people have been making mistakes because, when you buy a DLC, normally...
I just saw this. Sorry, continue.
Pass from Pokemon, I'll buy it. Well, what people are forgetting is there are two separate fucking games, Sword and Shield. So some people who own Sword have bought
the Shield package, and then some people who've got Shield have bought the Sword package.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Match with their game, and so Nintendo has a very, very shitty policy where, as soon as you buy the game, it's technically preloaded and you cannot get a refund. Yeah. So people have been spending is it how much is it? $15?
So it's $45 to unlock the entire expansion pass set. I think.
So let's say $45, right?
Yeah.
Half of a fucking game here, and they can't get refunds. Thankfully, Nintendo has now come out and is issuing
refunds.
Well, yeah,
because people aren't just wanting refunds because they bought the game; they want a refund so they can buy the version they actually fucking want.
Yes.
So, this is a mess.
Such a Nintendo fuck up.
Wow.
Look,
this is their own system backfiring against them. Really,
we got to be careful. They might endorse us at one point. They might.
Nintendo, I will take your money and change my opinion on you potentially.
Yeah, we'd have to be family friendly first, so that means no potty mouth for old Andrew.
Oh my god! Do you know how many people have mentioned to me how filthy his mouth is?
Oh, I know how filthy his mouth is.
Who have mentioned that to you?
Literally, my sister and my brother and my they're just like, dude, he swears so much. I'm like, you know why? Because he's comfortable.
Yeah.
Either way, besides the point, that's just some.
That's just a little insight. That's a sneak peek to get to know the hosts.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's kind of. I think there's one more thing I want to finish. No more stories. We're done with the news.
We should mention, just because it relates to back to last week. Andrew Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew was literally got a bullseye and then got the bullseye again and split the arrow with the next arrow that he shot.
Yeah, I think he told me about this.
With Spider-Man Miles Morales and his comparison to what he think it's going to be like.
Yep, he told me. It was incredible. It was perfect.
There was for those who don't know, there was someone spoke to one of the devs at Insomniac, literally comparing Spider-Man Miles Morales to Uncharted Lost Legacy, and that is exactly what Andrew said before this.
You heard it here first.
We are the gaming informative people.
We are the best informative podcast in the world.
So
we only bring you facts.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not that huge of news, but I mean, it relates to last week, and I think like
It's impressive to get it so damn accurate.
for our like 11 listeners, I think I checked like the other day, we had 11 listeners.
That was just Andrew listening 11 times.
Oh,
True.
yeah. So for our 11 listeners, Andrew is part psychic. If the X-Men are looking for a new recruit, Andrew is here.
Please do not wish to fight that fight.
Oh,
Not a psychic. Look, a lot of people have mentioned it. I think it is just like from the way they announced it, the way they spoke about it. It was the most apt comparison. It makes sense, as we said,
take
like
my goddamn praise, all right? Jesus Christ.
humble motherfucker. Anyway, let's continue. We will continue now. We're gonna finish off with another game. Now, Leon, being the little bitch that he is,
Yeah,
skipped out
screw
on-
you, Leon.
So he didn't make a game. So this one's a little different compared to the previous game, which was a kind of multiple questions game. I've got the best-selling games of all time in front of me right now.
Goat Simulator,
so
every single question. That's the answer.
Let you know, as a little tip, there is no Goat Simulator.
This is
Fucking
wrong.
shocking.
Check your facts.
Work on it. But no, I'm gonna give you a list of some of them, and I'm going to get you to guess where it is on the list. I've got the top 15 best-selling games.
So are you essentially just going to list a title and then we have to say where it is on the list? Like if it's number 7 or whatever?
And it's whoever's closest, I'm guessing?
Well, I decided not to give points this time because Leon still needs to make a game anyway.
Well, I was actually just going to say that. Does this one...
this is for fun.
Is this like the loser has to make the week after next week's game, or is this just,
This is strictly for fun.
Oh, amazing. Imagine playing a game for fun. All right, hit me with it.
Okay, so the video game,
Yes.
Diablo 3 and the Reaper of Souls expansion.
Fuck.
In the top 15.
Top 15.
Ooh.
So this is best selling, right?
Best selling of all time.
Diablo 3. I'm going to put that. I think it's quite high. Diablo is such a profitable franchise, and there was so much hype around Diablo 3.
Ooh, see, I don't know because it's
Controversy in Diablo 3, Mitchell.
Sorry?
There was also a lot of controversy around Diablo 3.
Yeah, but that's... wasn't there controversy with the mobile game they brought out because Diablo 3 was so good, and they
nothing to do with Diablo 3.
Yeah.
But there was controversy when Diablo 3 came out.
Anyways, I'm gonna put it 8th.
Okay.
I was gonna say 9 because it's an
Oh, so it's like a higher or lower thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
15th. It's the last.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, didn't I?
I really overestimated the.
I mean, look. To be fair, we were both close. Like we both had similar answers. But
yeah, but you win that one.
I purely thought because it was a DLC, it would have been like. Surely it wasn't going to be that high up.
Yeah, I got a new one for you. Skyrim.
Oh, that has to be like top 5, surely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go first. I'm just gonna quickly Google the top 15 best-selling games.
Not actually. I'm actually just pause for a minute, Mitch. You're gonna have to edit this out. Check the time because I need a pee.
All right. We can do like an ASMR thing, like.
ASMR. Yes.
What's this?
What?
Little sounds or what's?
Oh my god! What is that? Oh my god!
Yeah, make it ASMR.
I'm so intrigued. Oh, wow! So interesting.
But we have to whisper really closely to the microphone. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna make some ocean noises just to help you guys sleep. Okay.
Okay. Should I make it?
We can reconvert 2, 1, we'll start back again. Okie dokie. So
Well, that was an adventure.
we are back. I had to go to the toilet, so welcome back to the weird cut. Now, guys, I hope you didn't Google it, but Skyrim, where does it?
I say, I want to say 3 or 4.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with 3.
I'll go with 4 then.
Now, guys, Mitchell was closer.
Oh, fecky.
Oh, it's going to be like 12.
It's
Yeah.
14.
Oh,
14. Fuck.
Skyrim. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I don't know how long ago this was updated. This is what
This is a 10-year-old game that has been relevant for all of those years.
Just you wait. Just you wait when you start
my
hearing some of these other ones.
We're really
I bet-
bad at this, man.
What's the bit? The first one's Minecraft.
Oh,
It's not.
100%.
Anyway.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Um,
all right. Continue.
The video game, you may know it.
Hmm. Top
Tetris.
15. Tetris. Oh, that's
Oh.
number 1. 1. I'm
I
going
mean,
with 1.
I can't go with 1 as well. I'm going to go 2.
You pulled a Leon there, Tolga. It is number 1.
Hell yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It is.
I
the
mean,
hype.
look,
Yeah,
Tetris is hype as shit.
yeah, I actually knew that one. I kind of forgot about it until you mentioned its name.
You scrub.
Mm.
Okay, now this one, I hope you know, GTA 5.
2.
I swear to God, if this is 2, I'm going to be so disappointed, but I'm going to go with 2.
It's 3.
Oh, we share the points. I'll shake hands with you. Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm not keeping track of the points, by the way. So.
Oh, I am. I've got a table and everything.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. Okay, he's taking it very seriously.
I'm a very competitive man.
PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
10th.
Oh, no.
Actually, no.
13th.
Yeah, probably correct. I'll stay with 10.
Mitchell, you were closer. It's number 5.
Ooh.
What the fuck, man? How's that more popular than Skyrim?
I don't know.
Well,
It's
think
just
about the
times it was
the-
released.
It released when it came out. It boasted the highest concurrent player base until Fortnite, the free game, came and beat it. So like,
And it was free.
no, PUBG isn't free.
It was,
PUBG.
wasn't it?
No, it's
So-
$30.
So what'd
Oh,
you say it was?
shit.
What'd you say it was? 3?
5th.
It's
Fuck.
PUBG's number 5.
That's crazy. All right, hit me with the next one. I'm ready to get hurt again.
Okie dokie. New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Oh, that shit slapped when that came
Yeah.
out. The entire world went crazy. I
Anything to do
reckon-
with Mario sells, man.
Did we have 5 already?
Yeah, that was the one just gone. I'm gonna go 7.
Oh, I remember it did insanely well.
I'm probably wrong. It's probably lower. But
Oh, I think I might go with 6.
yeah. All right.
Mitchell, you said 7.
Yep.
Mitchell was closer. It's actually 13th.
Oh, okay.
See, all I remember is that when that came out, people lost their mind. It was like, oh my god, it's like the first 3D Mario.
That one I can understand. I'm not as angry that it's further away from our guess.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's an interesting one. Wii Sports.
Oh, that's 3. That's 2. Wait, was there a number 2 already?
We
Wait,
haven't
didn't
had
that come?
That's like number 2.
Wii?
Yeah,
Didn't that come with the Wii?
pretty
so how was
much.
that?
So for every Wii console that sold, so did Wii Sports. Think
Yeah,
about
so
that.
it has to be like 2 then. Yeah.
I've said 2.
It's
Yeah,
4. Very close, guys. Yeah, so it came boxed in with every Wii, and Wii being the highest selling console.
Yeah.
Of all time.
So that was number 4 you said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see you.
Easy one. Minecraft.
2. I'm just gonna say 2.
I reckon it's got to be 1.
No,
Like,
we've had
honestly.
1.
This is 1.
Which one was 1?
Tetris.
Oh, yeah. So it's got to be 2 then.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
That's
Cool. I should have let you go 1.
Um,
Should have shut up.
Now, Super Mario Bros. The first game, the original.
11.
Oh, yeah. I want to go with. Have we had 12?
No,
No.
we haven't.
And have we had 10?
No, we haven't yet.
Yeah, I'll go with 10.
You guessed 11, yeah, Mitch.
Yeah.
Tolga wins.
Ah.
It was 6th.
Yeah, see, I was
remember, guys, how many times Super Mario Bros. Has been ported? Yeah. So it was on the DS. It was brought back on the 3DS. It's had digital versions of it sold, so it had the Game Boy, it had the original NES version. Was it in the NES? Super Mario? Yeah, it was. The original NES version. There's been so many ports of that game. So it's not surprising that it's so high up.
No.
Now here's an interesting one. Pokemon Gen 1.
Oh. Wait.
Shit.
By Gen 1, are we talking Generation 1 or are we talking remakes?
So Red and Blue.
Red and Blue.
Oh. I should get this right. Hopefully.
I think it's higher. I don't think it's as... it's probably sitting around that 12 and 13.
I reckon 7.
I'll go 12.
Tolga's spot on.
Wow, really? 7?
Yes. Dude.
Well done.
Yeah, the Pokemon fanboy over here, Nintendo.
It's the only Pokemon game on this list, by the way, Tolga.
Yeah. I know it is. I know it is for a fact. I know it is.
It's engraved in his brain.
Yep.
This one will be interesting. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
10.
Oh.
Well, so it's Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so the Switch and Wii U versions.
I'll go 10.
Yeah, fuck it. 9.
Mitchell wins. It was 11th.
Oh, the one time I didn't say 11.
New Super Mario Bros. DS.
Oh, shit. Fuck. I love how Mario's come up 4 times.
Nintendo just slaps. So we've had 15, 14, 13, 11. I'll have to go... I'm going to go...
Numbers you haven't got.
I think 10.
8, 10, 12.
Okay.
Wait, we have 3 numbers, 8, 10, and 12.
8, 12, and 9, sorry.
Oh, and which one was this? DS and 3DS?
Well, it's just DS. It's the DS one.
12.
I'll go 10.
Tolga's spot on. 12.
Oh, making...
Well, you know,
brother.
I didn't want to be a copycat,
We
you know.
fit.
It's alright.
Boys, we fit.
That's,
that's-
the closest one, whatever that is. Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
is that 8? What? So what do we got? 8, 9, and...
That's right. It was 8.
yeah,
Yeah,
good.
8.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Wii Sports Resort.
10.
Is there 9 and 10 left?
9 and 10 are the only 2 left.
Okay, 10.
Fuck it, I'll go 9.
May as well. 50,
Mitchell,
50.
you're on it.
Oh, mate, I knew it. I wasn't doubting myself.
Were you
Yeah.
a we
I played a little bit of Wii Resort where you get your samurai sword out and kick the shit out of people. Hell yeah.
So what was 9th then?
There's one left.
Yeah, I wonder what spot it'll be.
24.
Give you some options, and you're going to decide.
Oh. Spicy. Spicy.
Smart boy.
Right? Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you?
Nope, not a clue.
You used your noggin. Your 3 brain cells were active today.
Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, sorry.
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh.
Yes.
We have... You ready for this, boys? Monster Hunter World
Okay.
and Mario Kart Wii.
Mario Kart Wii.
Oh, it's
It'd have to be out of Mario Kart Wii and Red
yeah,
Dead.
it's. I'm gonna go Mario Kart Wii because I played the shit out of that.
I'm gonna go... Oh, I don't know if Red Dead sold them. I'll go Red Dead.
Tolga wins.
Yeah, fuck.
I am the ultimate being.
I need to shut up because I feel like I'm giving him information. Well done, Tolga.
Would be a really interesting one. I made this game literally at work today when I had a lunch break.
Good game.
Mm.
Mitch, well fought, well played.
Well fought, I'll get you next time.
What was the actual score? Like, what'd you get?
Oh, I wasn't making a tally, but you beat me by like
lol.
three or something.
Okay. Well, look. Either way, it was meant to be more just fun. For this one,
Everything is a competition.
We are gamers. Gamers.
we play games. I play them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a video game connoisseur.
Okay. Okie dokie. I think we call it, man. This has been a good, well-rounded podcast. 1 hour and 45 minutes. 46.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Well, not to mention we're going to actually cut it down because of my little pee break, so it'll probably be 1 hour and 45.
That's Andrew, why don't you give us the coveted tagline of this podcast? Send us off, my friend.
Before we do that, Mitchell,
Huh?
up today.
Sorry?
What do you want to plug? Is there
I can plug this every week if you want me to.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah. As I've stated in the last episode, I have a Twitch channel called Clutch Savvy. Hit me up on there. We play a lot of games from gacha to FPS, AAA to indie, whatever it is. I also have a Twitter account on the same name, so if you want to follow me there, go for it. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, awesome. Anything for you, Tolga?
Nintendo, Rage, Shadow Legends, the big three YouTubers. You know who you are. What's his name? Jim Sterling.
All of Critical Role.
All of Critical Role. Hell yeah, dude! If Critical Role even just gave us a shout out, I swear to God.
G Fuel, if you want to give us a NerdSpice flavor, that'd be great.
Oh, dude, would it taste like cinnamon?
I don't know. It'd be like KFC chicken with like 12 herbs and spices, you know?
I think it needs cinnamon in it.
Be like a fireball shot without the alcohol.
You know what? Fuck it. It's just Fireball, but put an energy drink in there. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, if Crit Roll shouts us out, I'll actually probably cry. My dreams will come true. I love.
If we ever get big enough to start meeting people within, like, voice actors within the game,
bro. It's just memes. But I mean, seriously, if you want to shout us out.
Yeah, please.
Right. I can feel it coming on. Here's the tagline, guys. Get ready.
Look, I'm gonna plug something this week. I've created it is at Games Down Under. I will put
what's this?
Look, this is just my private Twitter. I think it'll be an interesting way to get to know the community a bit better, chat to people, all that stuff, or the community that we will hopefully build. But yeah, no, I think it's always good for us to have a Twitter, etc., like something like
100%.
social media. I mean, I talked to you about this Mitch, when you started doing your Twitch streaming. I told you to go to Twitter.
Yeah, man. Tweet at us. Send me all your hate. I'll take you on one-on-one fight.
I think it's really worthwhile, and it's a good way to kind of keep within the community. You can follow the people you like. Anyway, I'm not explaining social media. What the fuck? I'm not like a 40-year-old boomer. Anyway, let's continue on. Yeah, so thanks for listening this time. We're a lot shorter podcast this time, which is what we wanted.
Say the line. Go on.
NerdSpiced.
Oh, so good. There it is. Oh, the added quality. I love it. Awesome. All right. Well, cheers. Cheers for that, guys.
Cheers, biggies.
See you next week.